Hey guys, Mr. Morin here. Good morning. Today I'm going to be going over some of your vocabulary words that I have given you. Hopefully you guys have been doing that organizer that I've been giving you that I've uploaded. Hopefully you guys have been able to figure that out. And if you haven't, that's fine. That's another reason why I'm doing this, so you guys get at least the gist of what I'm looking for when it comes to these vocabulary words, okay? You all know how this works, especially if you've had class with me. Basically, I'd give you the vocabulary words, the next day we'd go over them in class and kind of make up our own definitions, and then learn the real ones as we move along. And then we would obviously do something that looks like this. You guys remember that, right? Yeah, of course you do. All right, but here's the deal. In light of certain circumstances, we cannot make that a reality and or to make that happen. So today I'm just going to be going over them on the board here. I'll be giving you some of the more important vocabulary words. Keep in mind I'm not doing all of them today. I didn't even give you all of them. Now, most of you know that I give you like 20 or some odd vocabulary words for you to go over. I think your list this time around was 5. Keep in mind, that's not all of them, okay? I just want to chunk this out and kind of go over these, make sure you guys understand and know what these are all talking about, and then I'll move on and give you the rest of them at a later date, okay? But for right now, these are the ones I want to go over. I'm going to be going over them on the board, and then I'll be posting this to Edmodo. And then I'll have like a poll question there for you guys to answer, so you guys get credit for participating and watching this video. Okay. But yeah, without further ado, let's focus on the board here a little bit, huh? Yeah, there we go. There's my board. Okay. Right here in my home. So let's get started here. So the first one we're going to be talking about is weathering. Okay, and weathering, I know we kind of went over this a little bit when we started talking about minerals and rocks and stuff like that, but I think it's good to go over, especially considering this next chapter is going to be talking about how water affects our landforms and the way the land looks, okay? Because water plays a huge role in that, okay? So let's get started here. Weathering, kiddos, some of you guys remember, is the breaking down of rock and other substances. Oh my gosh. On Earth's surface. Okay, so that is what we're going to be talking about when it comes to weathering. That's the definition we're going to use. That's the definition we care about. Hopefully you guys can read that for the most part. I don't know. I hope so anyways. Okay? Alright, next one we're going to be talking about is, we just did weathering, we're going to talk about erosion. Or erosion, if you are doing the potato thing, okay? Erosion, okay? Erosion is the removal of rock particles. Now, you guys remember that lab we did with rocks where I had you guys, we had one group over on one table calculating on densities and volumes and stuff, and on another table I had a bunch of rocks, and you guys were looking at them underneath dissecting microscopes, and you guys saw some of the rock particles, the little grains of almost like sand-like things. That's what we're talking about here when I talk about rock particles, or sediment, however you want to call it. Basically, this is removal of rock particles, not just randomly. They were removed by wind, agua, H2O, water, whatever you want to call it, mini, that sort of thing, ice and gravity. These are all ways that erosion can occur, okay? Next one is abrasion. Now, abrasion is a little bit different. basically what abrasion is going to be talking about when it comes to this class and what we're talking about. Abrasion is basically the wearing away of rock by other rock particles. Okay, so basically we're talking about rock particles flowing over other rocks, wearing away the rock particles themselves. Keep in mind that's not the only definition for abrasion. There are different ones, but this is the geological one that we're going to be talking about, or the one that we care about here. Forgive me if I keep stepping off, because I want you guys to be focusing on the board and what it says. Obviously, you don't need my big body in there. Okay? And we only got two more. Okay? Which are very important, especially for the assignment I got for this prior week, which was for you to go ahead and look at some of these and type in the definition, find a picture, and then kind of describe that sort of thing, or describe why that picture is a definite or is a good representation of these. And that was for you to kind of use your words and describe the picture sort of thing. But the first one we're going to be, the next word is mechanical weathering. Sure. Okay, mechanical weathering, kiddos, is basically when you guys think of mechanical, I'm sure the first thing you guys think of is maybe a machine, maybe you think your car, maybe it's a mechanic that you take your broken car to, that sort of thing. So basically, all those things have one thing in common, which are physical. They're all physical. Machines are physical. You can touch them. You can feel them, sort of thing, okay? They work against each other in a physical manner, okay? Mechanical weathering is basically, is when rock is physically broken. Okay, it just doesn't randomly happen. Something's working against it. Basically, it's broken up into smaller particles or smaller pieces. Okay, which leads us into our last one, which is chemical weathering. We have mechanical weathering, and this one is about par for the course. I can't spell. Chemical weathering. Okay, so mechanical weathering was a physical aspect of this. Chemical weathering is kind of the exact opposite. Basically, it's the breaking down of rock due to chemicals. And we're talking about things such as, water, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the stuff you breathe out. Living organisms, depending, acid rain. Those are all good examples of how chemical weathering can do this sort of thing, okay? This pretty much wraps up our vocabulary section for now. Okay, keep in mind that we are going to be doing more of this, and you will see another recording eventually with more of these. Just keep in mind for right now, these are the more important ones that we're going to be looking at for right now. Not forever, but for right now, okay? Later on, I'm going to give you more of these. I will have another one of these that I'll be going over on the board, and then I'll have a poll to go with it. That's